This is Ryan Johnson. This time last year, he was a 21-year-old playing for the Dallas Baptist Patriots. In that junior season, he would go 11-3 with a 2.21 ERA and a .915 WHIP. This would lead to his 2024 second-round draft selection by the Angels as the 74th overall pick, which was received in compensation for the loss of Shohei Ohtani. Fast forward to this year, and he's lining it up in spring training. He impresses the coaching staff enough to make the opening day roster. By making it to the big club, Johnson joined a short list of players that went straight from the draft, skipping the minors and going straight to the majors. Johnson took the fast track to the big leagues, but this isn't anything new for the Angels. Over the last 5 years, they've been bringing up their players faster than any other big league club. Before we further analyze the Angels' Audubon, please hit that like button and subscribe to see future videos and join the squad. Thank you. Angels have been a terrible team for many, many years now. While there are many reasons for this, one constant is their poor farm system. Many would point to the Angels not trading Ohtani and restocking their farm system as a major reason for this. They in fact did the opposite and traded away prospects for players like Lucas Giolito. That didn't work out too well, but I'd argue that their constant low ranking stems from something else. This team loves to expedite their players to the major leagues. Since Perry Manassian took over the team in 2020, the team's been expediting players to the majors faster than any other ball club. They in fact have had the first player to the majors from the last 4 drafts. This quick graduation keeps these prospects from boosting the farm system's overall ranking. Now the Angels haven't been winning, even with these quick promotions. So are they dooming these players with the quick graduation and not giving them the proper time to develop? To answer this, we're going to look back at a bunch of these players and see where they are now. We'll start by going back to the beginning where this trend began, way back in 2020 when the Angels selected Reed Detmers as their 10th overall pick. Due to COVID, there was no minor league season that year. But once the following year came, the Angels started Detmers right at Double-A. While starting at Double-A isn't completely unheard of, it's pretty ambitious, especially when you take into account that there was no season the year before. See, in a minor league system, you typically have rookie ball through Triple-A. As the draft happens mid-season, players often start in rookie ball as they might not be ready to jump in that high level of play yet. But let's say they are ready. Then a team will usually send them to low A or high A depending on their skill level. See, it's Double A where you first start seeing what could be major league talent, and is overall a much higher level of play. It's not unheard of for a player to go straight from Double A to the majors, although Triple A is there so players can fine-tune their skills before the bigs. So with Detmers jumping into Double A, he started 12 games and went 2-4 with a 3.5 ERA. Then that same season, the Angels would promote him to Triple-A, where he would start 2 games with a 1-0 record and a 1.13 ERA. On August 1st, the Angels would call him up to start in the majors. In 5 games, he would go 1-3 with a 7.4 ERA. Yikes. This would look to be the end of the experiment just as it's starting. Then next season, Detmers would go 7-6 with a 3.77 ERA. He would also throw an immaculate inning and a no-hitter. Doing this, he would become just the 3rd pitcher to accomplish both feats in the same season. Unfortunately, that's where the good news ends. And ever since his rookie season, he's been struggling and sent up and down to Triple-A. This season, he'll be starting in the bullpen, where he's going to try and prove to the club that he is still that great pitcher from his rookie season. On to 2021, where the Angels drafted Chase Silseth in not the 1st round, but the 11th. He would start in rookie ball, but finish his season in Double-A. In 2022, he would start the season hot, going 7-0 with a 2.49 ERA. He would skip Triple-A altogether and go straight to the big club, where he would become the first of his draft class to make the majors. He would ultimately struggle, going 1-3 over 7 starts with a 6.95 ERA. In 2023, he would improve, but he would find himself bouncing between the big club and Triple-A. In 2024, he would regress and go back to his rookie numbers until his season ended with elbow surgery. This season, now recovered from his surgery, he struggled in spring and finds himself in the minors, unsure of when he will make his return to the big club. Now, taking it back to 2018, the Phillies would draft Logan O'Hoppe, a catcher, out of high school. With the Phillies, he would reach all levels of their minor league system before being traded to the Angels in 2022. He would only play 29 games before getting the call to the big club towards the end of the season. In the 2023 season, he would bat .236 with 14 home runs in only 51 games. His sophomore season would show improvement as he batted .244 with 20 home runs through a full season. In 2025, he is now the Angels' primary backstop. Turning to the Angels draft, in 2022 they select Zach Neto with the 13th overall pick. This is when the Angels took their strategy to the next level. Neto would blaze through the minors, only playing 48 games before making it to the big leagues. He, once again, would become the first of his draft class to make it to the majors. In his first year, he would bat .225 with 9 home runs in 84 games, which left a lot to be desired, but his defense definitely made up for the lack of offense. His sophomore season saw him improve on both sides, as he led the league in several defensive metrics, and he batted .249 with 23 home runs in 155 games. Unfortunately, he would end the season needing surgery on his shoulder, which has him beginning 2025 on the injured list. The only question here is, will he continue to be the player he showed last year upon his return? On July 9th, 2023, the Angels would select Nolan Schanuel as the 11th overall pick. On July 24th, he would be assigned to rookie ball. On July 25th, he would be assigned to single A. On July 28th, he would be assigned to double A. And then on August 18th, he was called up to the big league, just 40 days after being drafted. He would proceed to get a hit in each of his first 10 games, and he would reach safely in each of his first 29 games. His bat on ball skills were never in question, as he batted .275 and 109 at-bats. His power, on the other hand, definitely was, as he only had 1 home run in those at-bats. The following year, in his first full season, we would see his numbers drop, as he only hit .251 with 13 home runs in 147 games. In 2025, the power is still in question, and we will see if his slugging goes up at the first base position. In the most recent draft, the Angels would select Christian Moore as the 8th overall pick. The Angels continued their trend, as they sent him to single A, where he went 6 for 11 in 2 games, before promotion to double A, where he batted .322. He likely would have been promoted if he hadn't suffered a minor injury. Heading into this spring, he had a great shot of making the roster. Instead, pitcher Ryan Johnson was selected, making him the first of his draft class to make it to the big leagues. In Johnson's first 3 games, there have been some good and some bad. The good is that he is the first pitcher since Roy Halladay to record a win and a save in his first 3 appearances to start the season. The bad is that in those 3 games, he recorded a 12.27 ERA in 3.2 innings pitched. Again, we will see which one is the real Ryan Johnson when he gets more appearances. The Angels have the 2nd round pick in this year's draft. And the question isn't as much who they're going to pick, but are they going to continue this trend of fast-tracking players to the big leagues? I don't think it's hard to argue that a lot of these players would have benefited with a little more time in the minor leagues. But I don't think any of these players are complaining either that they made it straight to the big club. This strategy undoubtedly makes the draft and college ball a lot more exciting when you know you might see those players in a few months. I think this season's results will be a big tell on whether this is working or not. But after having the worst season in franchise history, what do the Angels really have to lose? That's it for this week's video. Thanks for watching. And what do you think about this fast tracking strategy? Let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know what I should cover next. I've been doing the Angels a lot because, well, they're my favorite team, but I feel like I need to branch out a bit. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.